Loneliness, in many ways, becomes a mirror in which we can see our own reflection with a clarity that is sometimes obscured by the noise and busyness of everyday life. Loneliness grants you time. It provides an opportunity to slow down, pause, and gaze into a world that often rushes past us at full speed. In this silence, you can hear your inner voice, understand what you truly desire, and identify the values that are genuinely important to you. Loneliness can also be a time for introspection. It's a period when you can ask yourself questions that you usually don't have the time or courage to answer. You can delve into your own thoughts, explore your experiences, past mistakes, and achievements, and use them as a foundation to shape your future. Loneliness is an opportunity for self-discovery. It helps you understand how you function, which aspects of your personality need development, and what kind of relationships you need to grow and evolve. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "Solitude is a gift, and possibly the greatest of all gifts that we receive in life, because it is a gift to oneself." This quote reminds us that loneliness doesn't always have to invoke fear or sadness. It can be a time when we find inner peace and contentment, immersing ourselves in our own thoughts. However, it's important to understand that loneliness isn't always joy and blessing. For many people, it can be a source of anxiety and sorrow, especially if they feel isolated from others. In such moments, seeking support and collaboration with others is crucial. Nevertheless, it's important to remember that loneliness is not always a choice. Many people experience it as a heavy burden, particularly when they feel isolated and rejected. In such cases, seeking support and social interaction with others is essential. One of the most evident negative aspects of loneliness is social isolation. When a person is isolated from others, it can lead to feelings of alienation, loneliness, and even depression. The absence of social interaction and support can significantly impact one's mental and emotional well-being. The French philosopher Blaise Pascal once said, "All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone." This statement reminds us that sometimes solitude can be a test, the ability to overcome which makes us stronger and wiser. However, solitude is not always just an absence of people around. It is more of a state of mind and soul where you feel harmony with yourself and the world around you. It gives you the opportunity to find inner peace and serenity. If you embrace solitude, it means you have plenty of time and space for reflection and self-discovery. Solitude can be a wonderful companion in our lives, allowing us to delve deep within ourselves and understand our desires, fears, and dreams. Ultimately, solitude is a part of life that can be both positive and negative, depending on how we perceive it and how we use it. The ability to find harmony with oneself and enjoy moments of solitude is a gift that can bring profound satisfaction and a greater understanding of our own nature. And now, let's listen to the wisest parable of the sage of Arcady. Once in a distant village, there lived an old sage named Arcadius. He was always known for his profound wisdom and his ability to help others in various life situations. Despite his age and years of experience, he had one particular trait. He preferred to spend a lot of time in solitude, delving deep into contemplation and meditation. One day, a young man named Leonid came to Arcadius in search of advice. He was young and ambitious, and his life was filled with busyness and noise. Leonid asked the old sage, "Master Arcadius, you always seem to be in solitude. Do you ever feel lonely?" Arcadius smiled and replied, "Leonid, loneliness can come in different forms. Harmful loneliness is a state of mind where you feel that something is missing within you, that you lack something. Proper solitude is a state where you are in harmony with yourself and the world around you." Leonid pondered the wise man's words and said, "But the world is so noisy and constantly changing. How can one find harmony in such chaos?" Arcadius smiled again and said, "Leonid, it is precisely in solitude that I find answers to many of life's questions. It is a time when I listen to my own thoughts and find inner peace. But that doesn't mean I isolate myself from the world. I am always ready to share my wisdom and help others. But to do that, one must first learn to be in harmony with oneself." Leonid left, reflecting on the wise man's words. Over time, he began to understand that true harmony comes from within, and solitude can be a time for achieving this harmony. He started spending more time in solitude to discover himself and become a happier and wiser person. Thus, the parable of the old sage Arcady teaches us that loneliness does not always have to be scary or sad. It can be a time for self-discovery and inner growth, helping us find harmony with ourselves and the world around us.